Hi, Joey. It's good to meet you. Can you tell me what brings you to our office?
Sure. I have ADD and my mom suggested I come here to request accommodations for my classes. I had accommodations at the other college I attended before.
Okay, I'd be glad to discuss that with you and get things set up for you. It might be helpful if I shared a bit about our process here. Does that sound okay?
Sure.
Okay. Our office works with the campus as a whole to try to remove barriers and improve access for people with disabilities. Sometimes, though, students do encounter barriers due to the way a course is designed. That's where the accommodations come in. They help to bridge the gap when the design of the course results in a barrier for you or another student. Can you tell me about the barriers you've encountered previously?
To be honest, my mom wanted me to come here because I'm slipping behind in my courses. I'm worried about losing my scholarship. I tried to do it without help, but I guess I can't.
I don't think of accommodations as help. Just like I don't think of stairs as help for someone who uses a wheelchair. I bet there are situations where your ADD is not an issue.
That's true. In geology lab, I'm doing great. And in my web design class, I'm also doing well. Both are hands-on and don't have a lot of reading outside of class.
Okay. So that design works well for you. Classes where you do most of the work in the classroom without lots of outside reading assignments.
Exactly. And the readings are brief and go right along with the lab or activities. The other classes are sociology, the lecture part of geology, and American history. The geology professor gives us a handout for each class with some information from her slides, and then there are blanks for us to fill in. But in sociology and history, the professors just lecture for the full time. I try to take notes, but I have a hard time making sense of them afterward. If the professors would do like the geology professor, that would be great. Or if I could get someone else's notes or record the lecture and take notes later with a tutor.
Okay. We can list recording lecture and note taker as accommodations. We can also suggest that professors provide an outline of the lecture. What about your exams? Are you experiencing barriers there?
Well, yes and no. The exam itself is not a barrier, but since I haven't had good notes and since the exam focuses primarily on the lecture content, I've not done so well. I have also fallen behind in my reading. I have a hard time staying focused. I wonder if I could get a PDF of the books? I do better if I can see and hear it at the same time.
Yes. In most cases we can get a digital version of the book. We just need to guarantee to the publisher that you purchased a copy of the book.
That would be great. Even if I had some of my books, that way it would help me stay caught up.
Great. You mentioned tutoring before. We don't provide tutoring here. Do you know where the academic support office is?
Yes. I went there yesterday. I may not need it if we get all of this set up.
Are there any other barriers you are experiencing?
No, that covers it. Oh. But what about my paperwork? My mom has all of that.
You have really given me all of the information I need in order to understand the barriers you are encountering and how they interface with your ADD. When you get the paperwork from your mom, if you want to bring it in, we can look it over if you'd like. If you think you will go to grad school, it might also be helpful for us to look at what you have and see if you might need additional documentation for future entrance exams or the GRE. They sometimes are strict about what they require. I'll get all of your accommodations entered, and on your way out, Jason can orient you to the online accommodation form and show you how to select which of your professors will receive an email with the accommodations. Jason will also be the one who requests your books, and he'll get you set up so that he can share those with you electronically. You mentioned that you already have software to read your textbooks, but if you want, Jason can also show you the software you have access to as a student here. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and please feel free to come by anytime if you encounter additional barriers or have any trouble with the accommodations process.
Thanks. I will. It was nice meeting you too. Do I have to come here every semester to request accommodations?
Oh no. Once I have these in the system, they will be there. But if anything changes for you, just let us know.
That's great. Thanks so much. I will come by with the paperwork next week. Thanks again.